Any new clubs? Recently we've adjusted within our staffing so to ensure that we can provide just as much staffing support for all of you. So what that entails is that two teams, specifically the club and district support team and the membership development team, including youth protection, have merged. They've merged into two distinct groups. Those are now referred to as membership growth and club experience and global services. For anyone wondering, global services is going to encompass things like the Rotary Support Center, regional leader support, and the culture and values team, which will be focusing primarily on those higher escalation harassment suits. They're going to be there as specific individuals with expertise in youth safety. But for the purposes of our conversation today and these next couple of minutes, we're going to focus on membership growth, club experiences. And speaking on the formal change that's occurred within this zone pair is you have new support systems, new support talent, I would say. For a long time, many of you probably worked with Alicia and Sonia. They were the club and district support representatives. Well, moving forward, for the club and district support information, things in reference to creating a new club, submitting an application, governance support, things like that, that new contact is now going to be Cassandra Delacourt. And then for the what was previously regional membership officer, a lot of what I was doing to help support all of you, that work is now going to be under Carla Escobar, the
Jake.
membership growth officer. I'll be sharing out some slides in the next couple of weeks that actually showcase all those details for people to understand who they are and who the best contact information will be for those. But just note that you have two new support roles, including Cassandra Delacourt as your club experience officer and Carla Escobar as your membership growth officer. Thank you, Chris. Hopefully that helps shed a little bit of light on some of the change.
Thanks,
Hey,
Jose.
real quick, Chris, I had the opportunity to meet Carla up in Minnesota. And if you're looking for a really good, engaging speaker, she did a presentation with Tom Gump and blew him off the stage. And I'll tell Tom that to the thing. So if you're looking for a good speaker, Carla knows how to do it. She was absolutely wonderful. So just thought
And
I'd throw that in there.
thanks, Patrick. And Carla is with us here
Thank
tonight.
you,
Carla,
Patrick. Yes.
if you could wave to everybody so they can all see you. There you go.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And thank you for inviting me to these meetings. It's always a great opportunity to connect with you and learn what you're doing and ways that, I can help. So feel free to email us. As Jose was mentioning, we have a new support staff, but we're working together to make sure that, we're coordinating efforts to ensure that we're helping you with your membership growth. With your membership growth in the district. Thank you.
Thanks, Carla. And thanks, Jose, for kicking us off here this evening. Just to recap for a couple people that may not have joined, and I was a little late in pressing the record button. Um, Jose was going over some of the structural changes that happened at Rotary International, basically giving more resources to the membership endeavors and effort that we're working on. And Jose, thanks for sticking those cards in the chat. So if you all haven't looked at chat yet, you can grab some of those contact informations right off the chat. We're going to roll into just a quick recap of last meeting that we had, which seems like it was a lifetime ago, but it was just before the holidays or the beginning of December. And during that meeting, we did cover a number of topics. You can always go back and take a look at our YouTube channel and also at the Rotary Zones 3334 website, which is probably a quickest way for you to get there. Brief recap of what we talked about. We talked basically about how the month of December traditionally ends with a drop in numbers. And Patrick, when I get done here, is going to go over some of the numbers that we ended December with. And the rest of this really, I tell you what, it's not really relevant at this point because we're moving forward into January. So go if you want to go back and watch the video, go back and watch the video. Otherwise, I'm going to move forward and give Patrick the floor so that he can go ahead and talk about how we ended up December.
Now, we're not going to talk about anything negative. We're going to talk about something that's positive, and you guys are part of a team that are creating clubs all over the United States. The people that are on this call that have jumped on our North American Club Creation calls have done such a outstanding job. Um, and just in the standalone, not just, I'm not talking about companion clubs and satellite clubs, which we know are booming. They're booming. But standalone clubs are really, really starting to hit with the group. We did in North America. Jose sent us over the numbers with Carla, and I think we did 75% of the new standalone clubs in North America, and about 66. No, I've got that backwards. We did 66% of the clubs, new standalone clubs in North America last month, and but that accounted for about 75% of the new Rotarians that came in through those new clubs. So you're doing a great job. If you want to jump on, and you haven't yet, jump on a call, help us out because it's going crazy. We're working with over 900 clubs in North America right now in some stage or fashion, and it's absolutely crazy and a lot of fun. So, we'd love to have you on board. Just all you have to do is reach out to anybody. Chris, now he's kind of mean, so we don't reach out to Chris. Ken Fleeson, Al, Carrie, me, just anybody, just reach out if you want to. We've got a brand new trial also that's going on the retention side. I'd like to say that old Rich Salon, my buddy there, the HR guy. Hey, Rich, how you doing? Wave so we know you're not sick. There he is. He's going to be helping us on that side, on the retention side. So just give us a holler. Focus on growth this past 6 months because you know what happens. No matter how many people that we lose in December, you usually lose about um, twice as many in the second half, but you also bring in twice as many. So let's go. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate the update. So to lead us through our facilitated session part of this event this evening, I'm going to bring on Carrie. And Carrie, if you'd take it away, that would be great.
Thank you, Chris. It is the start of a new calendar year, which means we're halfway through the Rotary year. But guess what? As Patrick said, there's still time. And as we know, the second half of the year produces historically more new clubs than the first half of the year. So we wanted to talk today about how we can jumpstart club creation and or the other features of our North American Club Creation Team app, whether that's a club refresh or Discover Rotary. We want to talk about how we can jumpstart that. Because if history is going to repeat itself, then January has to be a month of action. So what we'd like to challenge you to do is to set one resolution to accomplish by the end of January. Drum roll, please. Here it is. We would like for you all to check in with your district governor and see if they are part of the Club Creation app. If they are not part of that, ask them if they're willing to participate in a 15-minute phone call about the app and how it can be a game changer for club development, club refreshes, and Discover Rotary activities in your district. So, Patrick, I wanted to ask you if you could share some thoughts on what happens when a DG takes a 15-minute meeting about the Club Creation app.
Well, it's fast and the furious. We go over the couple of different ways that they could participate. The first way is we always want to be the most transparent people out there, and that's what you guys want for your districts as well. So they can decide that they want to just be notified if we're working with a club that's in their district. We can set up to 4 people, whoever they decide, in the backside of the app to where they are notified every time a club in their district gets promoted to the next step. I mean, that is just really, really cool. But the other way, and the way that I suggest, is that they can get on the back end of the app, have their own dashboard, be able to communicate with the club, see exactly what's going on, what the prediction is, what the predicted date that they're going to be doing, what the actual date is, all of this information so they can plan. I mean, we forget that these DG guys, I mean, we kind of float around here sometimes and we say, this is what we want to do. But then nobody tells us how we're going to do it. And so I don't know how I could ask a DG to plan how they're going to finish up the year unless they have these predictive measures that are on the back. So they get a lot of that. The only thing that we ask them to do is to get us in front of their group for, the next time that they have a group call, a president's call, a membership call, whatever. So we can go over the program in a quick 15-minute call with them, get the leads, and start filtering them down through so you guys can help us create those clubs. So it's very, very simple. 15-minute call. They get their choice. I have not had one person say, just email us. Everybody is like, I want to participate. So not one person. That's great.
Yeah, and generally they become believers, right? They like
Yes.
see what you can do. You talk about examples, right, of how when you get in front of groups, um, you end up signing clubs up to get into the app and to start doing either a refresh or a satellite club or whatever it is they might be interested in doing.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, Carrie, on that is you guys have heard the old thing, you're never a prophet in your own home. Ross, my
Mhm.
DGE is here. That's my brother right up top there, man. I can't wait for him to be DG next year. But I have not spoken at my district at any level on membership in 3 years. Ain't nobody want to hear me talk. So that's no problem. Guess what? Paula can hook up with Deborah. Deborah can talk with Eileen's. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes to get the job done, it doesn't matter. Let's just get in front of these people and get it done. If you can, Carrie will probably give you the ask here in a second because
Mhm.
Carrie's the best. So I'll kick it back to her.
So, how many of you, just by show of hands on the screen, how many of you know whether your DG has had a conversation about the Club Creation Team app or is already in the app? I see a couple of hands, maybe three or four, maybe five or six. Okay, great. So, sounds like that's certainly a good thing. You've got some DGs that are, at least somewhat familiar. How many of you think that your DG could actually benefit from this 15-minute phone call in addition to signing up for the app? Definitely. I see some thumbs up, some hands. Great. So that's our big ask for January. That is the thing that we just want to have that one thing accomplished in January. So we'd like you to go back to your DGs and not only your DGs, but your DGEs and your DGENs or DGNs to talk to them about getting into a call together, the three of them together to get into a call and hear about the Club Creation app. And here's why because your DG only has 6 months left, but your DGE has 18 months and your DGN has 18 plus 12, 30, however many months, 30 months to take this app and truly make a difference in the district. And the sooner that they know about it, the more impact that they can have during their tenure as the DG. So, um, I'd love to hear from some of our other ICA team members. I don't know, Ken, if you have any thoughts on, how this app has been helpful in your work. I think you had some thoughts the other day.
Great tool, and I agree with you. We got to get the DG line moving, get them excited about it so that they can get the clubs excited. We can go out as ICAs or as district membership committee people and ask for clubs to sign up for it. But if it comes from the top, it has much more meaning. And the other thing is we can get the reinforcement from that district governor line, and they can start getting their assistant governors involved in the whole process as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the AGs really can have an impact, right, in terms of being that direct line to the club presidents and being another resource in terms of understanding what the power of this app can be and for the clubs as they try to do anything, whether it's creating a new club or an impact or a social or a satellite club. They can be a powerful force for good here for sure.
Exactly. And not only that, but I look at the club refresh as a very valuable tool because there's an awful lot of clubs that could really be taking advantage of that club refresh right now.
Absolutely.
Hey,
So, JR, I don't know if you have your hand up because you were saying, yes, my DG knows about the app, or whether you have your hand up for a question. So I'll kick it to you if you have a question.
Our DG has been involved, has gone through the introduction as well as our DGE and our DGN.
Great. So what are you seeing in terms of movement in your district? Anything yet?
We have been talking about particular clubs that could benefit from from moving forward. Certainly, clubs. Some of them would potentially be club refresh, and we're beginning to identify some other clubs that we might reach out to for potential new club, be it whatever scenario development.
Wonderful.
Gary,
Patrick, you have your hand
yeah,
up?
I
Yeah, go ahead.
apologize. Yeah, I want to jump in there real quick, because you ask me what the what I see, what I've seen so far as the difference between success and non-success. Go ahead. Okay,
What's
yeah,
the difference between success and non-success, Patrick?
fantastic. Using the team. Um, because I've had the districts that are doing well are the ones that just invite us to a call. We get the leads and then we book, and they can show up on every single call and walk us through with them. The ones that don't, the ones that haven't been successful. I was working with a DG not in this zone, but they went door to door. They like, oh, I just pitched it at my visit for 30 seconds. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I can guarantee you one thing. I would rather have Al go in and close a club and work with them and overcome objections than I would with, 20 other people. So again, this comes back to sending the right person in for the thing that you need to get done. If you want leads, you get somebody like I'm good at getting leads. I'm out there. I do this wonderful da 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 da. But then you get somebody that needs a step two. We send Sean because he can overcome objections. Al, he can overcome objections. He can those type of things. You put the people in the place that is best for your job. So if your DG, if we just got on here, we don't want your DG to just get on and get on the back end and then everybody sit around and go, let's look at this list and see who might be. You never know. It is always the people. It is always the people that come out of left field and you go, oh my gosh, I had no idea they would want to do something like that. So by you making the decision for them, it's not the success track that you want to be on. So if you can, and we'll explain that to the DGs if you can get us in front of them, the people that don't, that haven't had their DG track on a call with us, we'll do it together and explain to them. Our main goal is to get as many leads so we can find that one thing. If it's not a companion club, if it's not a satellite club, it might be a club refresh, might even be a Discover Rotary. What can we do to help move your people straight through the track? So that's the difference is when the district allows us to do the presentation, you will find out. I hear it every day. Al, I'm sure you do too. Ken, Carrie, you hear it every day. I had no idea they were thinking about doing something like this. So
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
think for them. Let them make the decision themselves.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing to think about too is there may be a lot of DGs that are saying, I really don't want to join this app before I know what it is.
You don't have to.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to send out a link that you can actually share with your DG, DGE, DGN, and you can tell them to schedule at a time that works for them, without having to go into the app and download the app and create a profile and all of that. So that's going to be really key because hopefully that eliminates a little bit of a barrier for a DG who's like, I really don't want to have to deal with another app on my phone.
Yeah.
At first, they're going to think that. But once they go through that 15-minute call, they're going to be downloading that app quicker than you can say club creation. So,
You can do it online too, Carrie. You don't have to
yeah,
do it on your phone.
yes, you can. You can do it on a web browser. You can log into the app through the web browser. You don't actually have to have it on your phone, which is great. So any other thoughts from the team about the importance of this, the meetings getting set up with the DGs and the DGE line? Chris, go ahead.
Carrie, I'll just mention very quickly for those governors that are on the line and have mid-year assemblies coming up, it's a great time to get Patrick and or me in front of the crowd there to offer a
Yeah.
quick presentation, 10, 15 minutes, because you're going to have all your presidents there already. So,
Yep. And Al's available because we'll just tell Al that he's available.
I'm
yeah.
available.
We
Matter
just
of fact,
love it. And then I
I'm
know,
available.
we've got other people too Carrie Gray, as you can tell, is like the next step and next level above all of us. She's just like incredible. But we can get you, if you book it and just 15 minutes, guys. I promise you, if you can get us in with the DGs or if the DG's on the call, let's get them excited. This is the time right now to get it done. So
Yeah, Patrick, if I could just jump in for 1 second,
please.
I'm talking to my own district on Saturday at our mid-year review, we've already formed 2 clubs so far this year, and we've got 3 more in process, and the word is really starting to get out. But I think what we I think sometimes don't realize is that as much as we talk about it and as much as we talk to, hopefully, the DGs, sometimes it doesn't filter down to the DGE and the DGN and the rest of the membership team. And we really need to make sure we're communicating that message to the entire team, not just the DG, but the DGN, the DGN,
Yep.
the DGN, the DGND, if you have one, the membership team, because they all need to hear it. They all need to be spreading the word about the North American Club Creation Team app
Yeah, and
and the
Al,
team.
real quick, you know why it's built momentum there in 7305? Is because you guys built a couple of clubs up there doing it that you did personally right there at 7305. But then
Yeah.
what did you use the companions that you built for? You built it for growth, but what did you wind up? Because what did they serve a purpose for at the end of
Oh,
last year?
the purpose, the result was that it energized the traditional club.
Yeah. But
That
what I'm
and it,
saying is, because they were in place and because you put them in place, you also helped retain people, right?
yes,
Remember the word net, guys. It's all about net. So if you're sitting there and you're going to get 300 people, that's fantastic. If you lose 300 people, it just is what it is. So we can use this, a companion or a satellite or any of these things right there, to save people.
right.
And if you saved half of the people that were going to leave because you gave them an option, guess what? Now you're plus 150. Ross, would you take plus 150 if I could guarantee it next year?
All day
I,
long, sir.
all day long. I'm telling
But
you, it's that easy.
but to correct one thing, I am
Yeah.
DGN and not DGE. I'm not quite ready yet.
I almost got you, man. I've almost got you. That's right, Paige. I apologize about
But
that.
I
Oh,
appreciate the enthusiasm.
let's go,
Ross
buddy.
has, Ross has 18 months.
That's all right. He could be like one of them presidents that goes in, they look all young like, and then all of a sudden they take office and they like age like 10 years. So.
All right. So one of the things that we want to do, because I'm sure there's some of you that are on the call tonight that are thinking, I don't know, guys. So would love to hear from anybody if you have questions or concerns or what you think might be an objection from someone in your district or your DGN line, your DG line. Tell us what you're thinking. If you're having any hesitation, we want to hear it. It's a safe space. We'll help you figure it out. Nobody has an objection. This is just brilliant if that's the case, but I'm shocked.
Hey, it's just the ask, right, Carrie?
Yep.
Just asking.
Yep.
Hey, listen, if you haven't been in front, can you do me a favor? You've appointed me to this position. I want to help as much as I can. Can you give me 15 minutes for me and Carrie to talk with you? Just 15 minutes of your time. And that's it.
Yep.
That's it. Just doing the ask. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So if anybody has a problem with that, I'm sure Carrie or Al or anybody on the call would be, Ken, anybody would be able to help.
Well, and I love the way you position that, Patrick, because you said, you appointed me to this position, or the zone, I guess, appointed all of us as ICAs, but we've been appointed into this role, and our role is to help, right? So help me, help you. Feels like a Jerry Maguire moment.
Hmm.
Right? I can't help you if you don't help yourself. So take this 15-minute call, and I think it'll be life-changing. Any other thoughts from anybody? Any questions, concerns?
Who's ready to start a club?
I'm ready to start 12.
Who's ready to
12.
save the
I
people that
love
we
it.
have in our clubs right now? I mean, if
12
you
is
if
the
you
number.
could say I need something that helps us grow and I need something that
Mm,
offers an option before people have to leave for life reasons, if you just really believe that, I promise you this will this will take care of the whole thing. The companion ladder takes care of it. You know.
So I have one thought that I'll throw out to everybody, and that's that if you have a spark plug in a club who thinks something ought to change, but they have pushback from district leadership or from club leadership, I should say, I'd like to hear what people have to say about how that objection might be handled for the spark plug to be able to do something, even if their club leadership isn't overly enthused about it.
We're gonna do this one way or another. No, I'm teasing. We're gonna just listen. We're either gonna do it together
That
and
works.
go all the way through this, or we're guys. We're the reason why I get excited like this, is because I've seen it. I've been in this mess for 6 years now, and we're this close. We are at the tipping point right now. A couple of more people on this side of the scale, and it becomes the norm. 5 years ago, Jose, when we mentioned companion clubs or doing it this way, people would go and throw up in their mouths. Now it's like, let's go. We're this close, guys, and that's the reason why I'm so excited about a couple more. You get a couple more district governors on that get us on a call, all of us on a call, and get those leads, and we start filtering those people down. That's going to be the difference this year. I promise you.
Roger, you
Patrick,
got your hand up.
yes. One thing that I would really appreciate,
Mhm.
we've got this time together, and I would love to hear. We have 100 success stories, 1,000 success stories out there of
Yep.
starting clubs. I would really appreciate taking 10, 12 minutes, run a club through the people that were involved, let them talk about all the anguish up front, the fact that their DG wasn't on the app, how they got their DG on the app,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. Run through how they got their club up and running through the point of submitting the application. I would love to hear the success stories. We have a couple in our district, to be honest. I'm not volunteering, but I think it would be great, because the ones that we have in our district were pre your team. And I
Mhm.
think it would be great to hear a story or two in these monthly get-togethers, from the people who did it, of how they did it and the
Yep.
obstacles and how they overcame and all that stuff. To me, that would be really valuable. I might be alone on this, but to me, that would be
No,
valuable to hear
That's
these real
beautiful.
life stories.
yeah. I think,
Yeah.
Roger, that it's like a good case study, right? And then you can,
Exactly.
Well, I
yeah.
want the bad case study
Well,
too.
that
I want to
too.
know.
Well, wait,
I want to. I
let's
want to know where I failed. You know
let's
what I mean?
do that one later, Patrick.
Yeah.
Let's do the
No,
good
it's
ones
okay.
first, please.
No. It's dead serious, guys. It's if you do the steps the same way every single time. Have you ever heard the saying? If you're offering a product, you offer 100% of the product to 100% of the people 100% of the time. That way, nobody can ever say, "Well, you never told me about it." Just if you do the steps the same way every single time, you're not going to get every single person, but you're going to get the vast majority of them. And that's just what it is. So, but there are things out there, Roger, that are minefields. I'm not better than anybody on this call. I just wound up I wound starting a little bit before everybody. So I've been through the minefield of the objections. So we've got, I'll pull 3 or 4 people, get them with the team, Carrie and Al and Chris and Mike, and see which one they want to add. But I don't want them to come on and kind of they can give a brief summary, but I want you to, if we bring them on, I want you to hammer them with questions. What did you do when this happened? If you stalled here, what happened with that? How did you overcome it? Let's get that education out of them that we want. They'll come on and they will give it to you. I mean, they're these clubs that we've done including the ones that we've done that are sitting up there at Rotary waiting for the paperwork to be done. We're over 50 clubs in the first 5.5 months since launch. So
Yeah.
in North America. So we'll grab a couple. That's a great idea, Roger.
Yeah, I
Thank
love that
you.
idea.
That would be great.
Even tonight, Al, I think you've had a couple of success stories in the last few months, right?
Yes, we have. We created a club in White Oak and in Ambridge, and
And
we've got
using
one. Pardon me?
using the app and the process of the app.
Using the app for both of them. Yes.
Okay, so can you talk a little bit about pick one of those and share like kind of the trajectory of how they got introduced to the app and then what the steps were?
Sure. I'll take the most recent one, which is the Rotary Club of Ambridge, which is the PACE Club. It's the People of Action through community, people of action in community through exercise. And so it is an impact club based around community service and people who are interested in health and wellness and exercise. And so the way they got introduced to the app was that I went out to the club. Well, actually, the first time they were introduced to the idea was at Pell's last March. The president-elect heard me talk about innovative clubs, and she said, "When I become president, I want to have you come out and talk to my club because we want to form an impact club." So soon after she became president, I went out there. It also happens to be the home club of our sitting district governor.
Oh, did we
About
lose that? Oh, there he is.
Impact Club, and this was just when the North American Club Creation Team app was coming out. So I talked to them about forming an Impact Club. I talked to them about using the application, and Felicia jumped on the app, and we went through the steps and got their potential members signed up, and it is waiting to be chartered. So hasn't quite been chartered yet. There's been a couple of last minute details that need to be worked out, but they had buy-in from their club, from their board, and that they already knew going in about half of the members that they were going to have become part of that club, and then they recruited the other half. So and showed them how to recruit because the members are right around them. So it was a very nice flow from beginning through the very end and using the application.
So about how many members did they end up with?
Right now they have 14.
That's great.
Al, that's a great story, and I would love to hear the details of how they came up with the idea of exercise, or how that formed, and then how they started. Who did they identify as their base, and how did they get them all together? Phone calls, emails, social media. Those are the kind of details those are the questions I get asked when I'm out here pushing on club presidents to do this work.
Yeah,
And
I think that's another call, Roger. But if the team wants to do something like that, I mean, I'd be happy to put something together about that particular club. Sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's an interesting, Roger, to your point, I think that's an interesting question, right? How do like you may have a club that's like, okay, we could create a satellite or a companion club, but what would it do? What would it focus on? Like there's clubs that are like, that's an interesting idea, but how do we know what the focus should be, or how do we know what the group of people should be? Yeah.
Carrie, exactly. And I'm going to go ahead and say that too. That's what the step one is for. I get people that come on step one and they go, "How are we going to recruit?" And I'm like, we don't talk about recruiting until step three. Why? Because if you can't tell me what you want your club to be, you're never going to be able to articulate it to the people out there.
Right.
So it's trust the process. I'm not bigger than the process. Chris is not bigger. We're not bigger than the process. The process is what the process is. Is it worth 15 minutes of your time to sit down and discuss maybe some things that might help your club? Yes, fantastic. We get on a call, and just like Al and I did in step one with the club that just did the companion club up in Albany, the Mosaic Club, they talked about they might want to do a club that had some based on diversity, and we just started cranking out. We knew we had it then, and we just got them excited, got them hyped. And they came back in a step two with a 3-page document and a vision statement and the name Mosaic Rotary. So in that first step is where we find that out. And Roger, I think where the trip up is, there's a lot of people out there. I think Rich Salon was on a call with me one time, and the person goes, "Don't even think about doing this until you have 7 or 8 people." And I raised my
Yeah.
hand and they're like, yeah. And I went, if you wait till you have 7 or 8 people, you're never going to get started. Don't worry about it. It's the process. So that's what I keep trying to stress. We're going to brainstorm and vision in step one. They're going to find something that they want, something that excites them. And if it's not a companion or a satellite, then it might be a Discover Rotary, but they just don't know how to do it and they've never done it, or they a club refresh, which is huge, those type of things. So that's that. I promise you, that's the deal. Roger, you do. I would love for you to do a couple of step ones with us.
Yeah.
I
Just come in
have.
there and see that deal. Oh, you have. You've done it. Well,
Yeah,
you've done a couple with
we
me
went
there.
through it
And
with Five Forks. We went through it with
yep.
Clemson. I was with you both calls.
Okay.
Good.
And then didn't Michelle worked on Clemson as well too, right?
Yes, she did. Yep.
Yeah, she's fantastic. If you get a chance to, anybody here gets a chance to meet Michelle Cook out of Orlando, she's on the team. She is like, she puts me to shame in energy. But I
Hey,
think that's it.
Don't sell yourself short, Patrick. But yeah.
hey, Patrick, Sandy's asked in the chat if you have the link that for scheduling. We're going to email it out, I know, but I don't know if you have it available right now that you could put it in the chat,
Yeah,
or if you want to email it out later.
yeah, we can get that over in the chat, Chris. If you can do that, because Carrie, would you mind if there's a question that's been brought up in the app
Yeah,
and
go
answered,
ahead.
and then app that answered. The Colbys. Hi, Colbys. How are you? We get this question a lot, and I appreciate it. The app is just a way to facilitate the process. Okay. We got approved to do the North American Club Creation Team. We went out and interviewed people. We brought them in. And I think I was on the call. I went, oh crap. How are we going to ensure that everybody does it the same way? Whether they get Al in a step one and me in a step two and a thing. So we just did a real quick app. And then all of a sudden people liked it and we added and added and added. We showed it to Rotary, Brian King and them. And they said, of course, we can't put any RI logos on it. Do you know why? Anybody take a guess at why we couldn't do that? Because it would take 18 years and like 10,000 attorneys. Just saying. So, no, seriously, they guesstimated that it would take over between 2 and 3 years to get something like approved. Now, does anybody on this call raise your hand if you think we have 2 or 3 years to get this done? No. So we have absolutely Chris and I have taken care of the development of the app, and it's not doesn't have anything to do with DACDB or Club Runner or anything. It's wholly there, and it's used to facilitation. Now, Chris, I think, put in the chat that we've had several zones internationally come on board as well. So I can't tell you what's going to happen, but okay. So that's it. Kobe's, I appreciate you. We offered to give it to them. You know what I mean? But it would take a while for them to get that approved. And if you're on this call, you know that time is of the essence. So that's where we're at.
If we're going to meet our destiny, we have to react now. We have to absolutely go now.
And if this tells you anything, Brian King, all your North American directors, Brian King, all of them are not only support it, but they're on it. They have their own account on the app and they use it on a daily basis. So that's where we're at.
And the directors are actually poking at each other, seeing who's got the most leads and who's got the most new clubs opening up. They're having a lot of fun with this.
Oh yeah, Brian Hall and Patrick Eek going back and forth. It's funny.
Yeah. Al, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to circle back for 1 second to the comment and question that Mike Walker had about a spark plug. Mike, if there is a spark plug in a club, what I have found, if there's a spark plug in a club that says things have to change, there are more people in that club thinking the same thing. They're just not being vocal about it. If you get that spark plug, make sure they know that there are other people in that club thinking the same thing. And, a companion club might be an option because if they're thinking things need to change, if things don't change, as we know, they vote with their feet. And this is an option for them, a very, very viable option for them. So,
we're 50. Let's do another break.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate that. That was a good comment, and I think there probably are a lot more. And so I guess the spark plug just has to start talking to other people in the club and seeing if they have an interest as well.
Right.
Do we have any spark plugs on the call here tonight?
We got a bunch, Chris. We got a bunch, buddy.
I know of one for sure, if she'd let me call on her.
Well, I
Paula?
assume yeah, I knew that's who you were going to. I knew that's who you were going to say, Chris, and then I was asking on her behalf. But sure, go for it, Paula.
Paula, unmute yourself and tell us about your new club idea.
Love how you guys put me on the spot here. So my club, I'm only using my club as an example, but we have had our ups and downs like any other club in anywhere in the United States.
Yep.
And we are a breakfast club, and I've noticed over the course of a couple of years that we're losing our members because life changes, as everybody else knows. Our kids are growing up, they're involved in sports, they're kindergartners now. Mom is driving them to school, and parents don't have time to come to a 7:30 a.m. meeting. So we have a fairly large housing development that has gone up over the last couple of years. I'll say 5 to 7 years, that has 2,000 homes in it.
Wow.
And I think that it's ripe for a new club, because those people that live in that housing development are all about community. They have their own clubhouse. They have a bazillion events that happen there. Their children play together. They're all going to the same school. And I really think that we would be able to get a bunch of people together and have their focus on Rotary, introduce them to Rotary, because I still think that stigma is out there, even in our small community of, what is Rotary? And even though we've been around for 20 years, a lot of people don't know our club exists. So we need to get in front of them and talk to them about Rotary. And when I was talking to Mike Walker earlier today, we were thinking that a Discover Rotary is great, but introduce that to a community to say, we want to form a new club, and use the Discover Rotary model to talk to them about it. So.
Thanks, Paula.
You're welcome.
That's fantastic.
We talk about spark plugs on this call. Andy hasn't said anything. Hi, Andy. DG, how are you doing? And Paul, I've spoken with a lot of you guys. You guys are like killing this thing. There's going to be more districts this year in the positive than in the last 15, 20 years.
So
Pat,
my name is not, sorry. I was talking to a club today on something completely unrelated. They were mentioned about their membership. So they're going to let me know when I can go up and show them the app and then get them hooked up with the meeting with you guys. So really looking forward to kicking this off with them as well.
The great part about it is, Andy, I've been on a couple of calls with people in your district, and you've been present in every single one. You want to talk about a DG line and a DG that really cares about membership? Don't have to be there because you got that team behind you that's doing it, but you showed up on every single call that was on there. I commend you on that. That's super fantastic. Great work.
Thank you.
Well, Carrie, do you have any last minute things here to wrap up with?
No, just a final reminder that an email with a link for a Calendly scheduling will come out to the group. If it's not already in the chat, or it may end up in the chat before we end out today's meeting. So just a reminder, we're asking you as ICAs to go to your DG, your DGE, and your DGN, and your DGND if you have one already, to ask them to come onto a call with the club creation team for 15 minutes so they can hear about the app, the functionality of it, and how it can really be a game changer for club growth and formation in their district. So that's our resolution for January. And we're going to check back in February and ask how many of you were able to get that done.
Thanks, Carrie.
What if your district governor is on this call?
Let's go. We'll sign him up right now. Let's go.
Call him out. Call him out.
I love it.
No need to wait.
That's actually quite funny. I was talking with Todd, from a team member up in Washington, and Todd owned an insurance thing, but before that, he owned a Winnebago dealership. And so this guy knows how to close. And he's like, if somebody comes up, we're on a call and they're like, well, we'll look into it. And he's like, well, why don't we just go ahead and pull our calendars out right now? He was just going for the commitment right there. So that's hey, no time like the present, right? I love it. You know
All
what
right,
might
team.
be neat? You know what might be neat, Mike Walker?
What's that?
If we did have a volunteer, a DG, that might be on the call that wanted to schedule their 15-minute call on this call, so everybody
I
can see what a DG call looks like.
Oh, Sandy's got her hand up.
All right, Sandy.
Go ahead and unmute Sandy.
I'll do it. Yes. And I've already been on the step one. I was just on the site. So I've already, it shows I've completed step one, but I want to involve my team in on that. So
Perfect.
I went ahead and said, hit the button below it and said, book a time for your next step. So I'm now into your Calendly, and I'm going to text my other two to see when they're available, and we'll get her booked.
I love it. I love it. We'll
Awesome.
send out that to
Awesome.
everybody else. But yeah, it'd be really neat for everybody to see. Guys, this job that you've accepted, which is a tough job. I mean, I've watched Chris's age 3 times his age in the last 5 years doing ICA. I mean, it's a tough job. But I kid because I love. And but this is worthwhile. At the end of the day, we always want to do something that we pour our heart into that's worthwhile. I promise you, it's not just about your district. When you help somebody else and you help somebody else, I mean, and just sit back and watch, it is a worthwhile journey. I can promise you. I've been blessed beyond belief, with the amount of people that we've been able to help and bring in, and that's the reason why it's very exciting. So jump
I
on
think
with us. We'd love to help.
I'll make the point, Patrick, that
Yes, sir.
5 years ago, I think it sort of was the norm that you wouldn't open new clubs in a district, or that, certainly not companion or satellite, and it was just almost abnormal to do that. Whereas, based on what you've done, the extraordinary work that you and Chris have done, and the North American Club Creation team across the country, it's now the norm. And so, if you're not actively involved in that, then that's the new abnormal almost. That the normal is to be doing this sort of activity, whereas 5 years ago it was maybe the opposite.
Yeah, I'll add to that, Mike, that in most populations, we're penetrating less than 1% of the population. So there is lots of opportunity for lots of new clubs, for us to go out there and spread the great word, the great work of Rotary. And to be honest with you, in order for us to achieve many of the service objectives that we have, we need more people to get that done. We can't put computers in front of this. We can't put robots in front of this. It is a people-driven business. We need more people to do the service work that we're doing. So please, please, please go out and find people in your community, even if they've never heard about Rotary, but they're excited about starting something great. Let's get them started on the journey to open a new club.
Gary, one other thing. The 4 standalone clubs that we just did last month,
Yeah.
we averaged 26.75 people in each one of those clubs.
Amazing.
Do not believe for 1 second, just because the threshold is 15, that you're not, if you come through the process and you learn that portion of it, your average will be over 20. It's not, numbers are your recruiting practices, are a result, or excuse me, a byproduct of the amount of people that you get. So we walk through it together. 26.75.
All right.
Awesome.
Before I wrap the call up, Rich Salon, you said you had something you wanted to share. So, Rich.
I salivate when I think about January, and I'll tell you why. The first half of the Rotary year, you're doing a transition from the old board to the new board. Then you're doing your fall fundraiser. Then you have the holidays. And the last 2 months of the Rotary year, May, you're pencil whipping your district awards. In June, you're preparing for your change of leadership. January, February, March, April, typically
Moving months.
don't have a lot of fundraisers going on. That is the best time for new club growth. My district, as an example, the first 6 years of the ICA program, the first 6 months, first half of the year, goose eggs. Last year, we did 9 in the back half. This is a perfect time. Perfect time. They're coming back from holiday. They want something to do. This is the time. We use March Madness. So I steal shamelessly. And March Madness for us is when we promote and create new clubs. We can did it. We can do it, and so can you. So 12 clubs is not far off. You can do it. Thanks for
Rich,
listening.
thanks for your closing comments on that. Great timing, and the message is very real and very poetic at this point in the meeting. So I want to get us out of here on time and just have a couple of more things to share with you all before we take off. Once again, we had a great meeting this evening. Lots of energy, lots of interaction between everybody. A couple of important dates for you to keep in mind. We've got Monday, January 12th with the MAP meeting live from International Assembly in Orlando. We're going to have a couple of roving reporters, Patrick and Sean. So it should be a fun meeting. You want to be on that January 12th meeting. January 19th, we've got the Zone 33 membership call-in for DMCs and stakeholders. And then back on Monday, February 2nd, a Zoom formation with Rotary International Director Patrick Geeks. And then February 3rd is our next monthly call for ICAs. And one last point, if I can get to my screen here. Where's my mouse? There's almost there. I've got one other thing to share with you. Today is National Bean Day. It's Walker's Shortbread Thistle Rounds Day and National Cuddle Up Day for your pet. I can't get to change my screen, so just trust me that the slides are there, and we are excited to share that with you. So again, have a great evening. Thank you so much for investing the hour of your time. We know it's been a valuable time for you, but we always get so much out of this meeting, and we appreciate you being here this evening. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Well, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Carrie, Chris,
Bye,
and
everyone.
Patrick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
meeting.
you.
Thank you.
Are you, Chris and Carrie, you staying on, Al? Ken?
Ken for a minute, yeah.
Yep. Okay.